What is up, people of YouTube? Welcome to another day in paradise. For those of you guys who are new, my name is Cody McCarty, and today we are going on a 7-mile hike and testing the 70 to 200 G Master that Sony sent me. Now, before we drive over to this Black Bear Wilderness area, I do want to have breakfast and my coffee. Give me a minute to have all this, and we'll be there in a sec. Okay, welcome to our first big hike in Florida, which is the poor man's Hawaii. We are gonna test out 7200, as I stated. We got about 7 miles, so I'm gonna keep you guys updated and go through it. But with how much shade cover there is, I think this might actually be a better wildlife lens here than my 100 to 400 because it's a thicker jungle and we have so much shade. So the 2 extra stops from the aperture are going to be amazing. Now, one of the reasons you bring a telephoto lens like this on a backpacking trip is so you can get some beautiful compression and some magnificent landscape shots because of that compression. So that's why you lug this heavy thing around. Oh, I'm blown out. It's hard filming in the dense forest because light will shine through in certain places and then blow out the image. I also wanted to start this hike early because 7 a.m. it was already 80 degrees. It's gonna get to like 96 today, so I'm gonna pack this all down and get some miles in before I talk to you guys again. Now, weight is a huge factor to consider when backpacking because it adds up. I'm almost on mile 2 and I'm starting to feel this. I would very much like to figure out a way once backpack season comes around to lower my weight because I'm 4 pounds shy of recommended backpacking weight. And I'm about 14 pounds over what the recommended day hike backpacking rate is. Weight, bleh. Because yeah, this isn't gonna cut it. I'm okay with bringing all this gear and not minding the 40-pound bag on my back. I don't mind it because that's roughly what my bag is going to be when I backpack the Sierras, but I gotta get like 20 pounds off in camera gear at least. So that's gonna be a challenge. If I could get down to 1 camera body for both photo and video, that would be ideal. Which technically I could, but I like to have the highest quality possible. You know what I mean? Whew. This terrain's tricky. You got roots all over here and then muddy ground. I'm gonna pack this down. I know we're acting stupid. Being dumb. Maybe just a little bit foolish. But I feel so young. Just go a little crazy and lose it. I don't care if we're dumb. It's the only way we know how to do it. Make me feel so young. Oh, I need to figure out how to lighten this pack. Well, we're at about the halfway point. There's this primitive campsite here. I think this is where I'm gonna post up, make lunch, but 7200. It's been nice. There are a few points where I wish I had the extra reach in my 100 or 400, especially with the wildlife I've been seeing, but with how thick the jungle gets at certain points, I can see where it'd be nice to have the 2.8 aperture. I'd still prefer the 100 to 400 in these situations. I'd rather get more reach, especially since I can't reach a lot of these animals or get closer, which is the other suggestion when you have this. But something to keep in mind is if you are a professional photographer or you're looking to book more gigs or you're a semi-pro, the 70-200 will make you more money and open more doors, essentially. Unless you do like specifically wildlife stuff, similar to kind of what I do, like the travel wildlife. The 70-200 will serve as a portraiture lens. It will serve as a wedding video lens, an interview lens. It's a little more versatile, and then on the side you can, as a hobby, do some great wildlife stuff. You can do amazing landscape stuff. I did want to give you some examples of landscape stuff, but I don't think the jungle is the perfect place. So I actually called up my good friend Nate, asking if he could send me some of his sample landscape images he took at 200 millimeters with the same lens. So that is one of the reasons to have a telephoto lens in your bag. It'll really emphasize the peaks. It'll really just compress and make everything just more pleasing in the image. So the 70-200 is a great telephoto lens option to have. I need to take a minute though and eat because I am tired. Okay, I've been looking forward to this lunch a lot. So I have classic marinara with pasta, and it just sounds so good. One of the benefits to training is I can bring along my Jetboil, which I would absolutely have backpacking, because hot coffee, warm food is just amazing. Makes all the difference, especially when you're in snowy mountaintops and stuff. Oh, it smells so good. I love how quick this boils water. Okay, so I have burn ointment, but I'd rather not burn myself, so we're gonna do this over here. Now I bring little foldable utensils, so just gotta stir this. And now we chill for about 20 minutes. Oh my God. Now I know when it's hot, like it is right now, a hot meal doesn't sound delicious, but when you're outside and you could have a freshly made warm meal, life-changing. If I close my eyes, I can just picture freezing cold mountains, me and Paul struggling to survive, and then the warm meal. It almost feels like I'm backpacking. So it looks like I'm gonna be doubling back pretty quick, so I packed up everything. I'm not gonna be having the 70-200 strapped to my chest because I'm hearing lightning and there's storm clouds are brewing and the wind keeps picking up, so it's blowing over here. So as soon as I finish this, I'm doubling back home quick. Okay, feels good to be nice and showered and cleaned up and to have made it out just at the nick of time because that storm rolled in and I did not want to be hiking through that. So, needless to say, I stopped talking out there, but we can get into the nitty-gritty about this lens and who I think it's for, why I personally won't be using it, and why I think most people would be very happy with the 70-200 f4. Now the biggest thing I hit on while hiking was the weight, and the weight is the make it or break it for me. The 70-200 f4 accomplishes the same thing, gets that compression, gets sharp enough images, unless you're shooting on like maybe an R3 or an R4. Definitely an R4, I would stick to the GM lines of glass just so you can resolve all those megapixels. But for everything else, it completes the same job, gets you that compression with that beautiful background. It's enough of a telephoto that you can blur out that background, and it's half the weight. It weighs like 1.8 pounds, where the 2.8 G Master weighs 3.25, I believe. And it's just, that's a lot of weight. That is a huge difference. I know I keep talking about weight, but that is the biggest thing that a backpacker has to decide on. The 70-200, beautiful lens, great. I took some sample images and they came out pretty good. Obviously, I didn't have the reach I would have with those extra 200 millimeters from my 100 to 400, which I really, really wish I had. But I have the R4, so cropping isn't necessarily a problem. Now I'm talking about extra reach, and Sony does have teleconverters that are compatible with the 70 to 200. The 2x teleconverter would give you the same focal range as the 100 to 400. You would lose 2 stops of light, so it would make it a 5/6. But here's the problem with that: you do lose a lot of image sharpness with it. I'll have a couple linked down below that are great, just comparisons, but I'm not going to focus as much as that, as it's been done so many times before. We're talking about my experience with backpacking with this thing. If you're doing this as a hobby, the 2x teleconverter is fun, but honestly, I don't like the 2x teleconverter. I've had it for a couple years now. It's great for video, but image wise, I've used it on my R3 and R4. I've not been happy with it. A7 III, it was fine. It was good. I mean, it was better than cropping, but on the R3 and R4, it was so much worse than cropping. So there's a few reasons why I won't put it in my camera bag. Is one, the weight. If I'm gonna have that kind of weight, I'm gonna go for the 100 to 400 because the extra reach. If I was gonna do 70 to 200 just so I could have a telephoto on me, I would definitely go with the G version. That way, you know, F4 is fine. It's gonna take great landscapes. It's just not, it's not gonna make you as much money as a professional photographer, because we are masters of all types of photography, is what you'll slowly learn as you do photography more. You end up branching out and doing a lot more things. I mean, with the 70 to 200 2.8, you're gonna make more money off of it, because 99% of the time, most professional photographers, you are wearing many hats. You're a portrait photographer, you're a landscape photographer, you're a product photographer. So you put on many hats, and this lens will make you more money, especially if you're branching out into all types of photography and cinematography. Me, I am specializing in wildlife and landscape, and the limited times I do shoot people, the 100 to 400 is a great portraiture lens. My 90mm macro is a great portraiture lens. So can I recommend this lens for a backpacker? Probably not. Now, I tried something different with this review because this lens has been out for a very long time, and a lot of people have done this. You guys may not like it, you may feel it was clunky and stuff like that, but I will refine it. But this is kind of the style that I'm going with going forward. So I just want to give you a heads up. This is the type of content that you're going to be seeing. Is you're going to see travel, adventure, you're going to see camera tips and gear stuff, as well as you are going to see my trips a lot more. That is the goal. For a while, it seemed like my YouTube channel was kind of bouncing all over the place, and I love making videos of all types of things, but to build an audience, I feel like I need to start doing more consistent content, so that's why I'm doing this. Hopefully you bear with it. If you found this awkward but also interesting, and if you enjoyed it, just let me know. Help me refine this, because I want to just make this kind of content, bring you guys along, make you feel included, and then maybe teach you guys some things. So if you have questions or things that I could be doing, let me know, because it's about getting better. It's about getting 1% better every day, as my best friend Paul Dillon says. Link down below. And yeah, there you go. Shameless plug. I seem to talk about Paul quite a bit. I think I've run out of things to say. I'll see you guys in the next video.